Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to yet another episode of Alumni Talkies. आज हमारे साथ आमिर पराचा हैं जो 1996 MBA के क्लास से उनका ताल्लुक है. इस वक्त CEO और चेयरमैन है यूनिलीवर के. वेलकम आमिर एंड वेलकम बैक टू IBA.
थैंक यू, बहुत शुक्रिया.
तो आमिर, आपसे बात शुरू करने से पहले सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको ये वेलकम भी करूंगी और ये भी पूछूंगी कि जब एडमिशन ले रहे थे 1996 में, तो IBA क्यों? Why not abroad? Why not some other university? Why IBA?
Why IBA? Abroad never appealed me ever. And that's the first one. Why not abroad? And when you come to Pakistan, back then, this is 1993, 94, there were only at times the two big business schools. One is LUMS and one is IBA. And of course, IBA also basically LUMS was barely 7-8 years old institute. And IBA was at that time was a 50-year-old institute. Getting into IBA was anyone's dream. And at that time IBA की जो क्लास साइज होती थी 35 से ज्यादा होती भी नहीं थी और नंबर ऑफ प्रोग्राम्स भी बहुत लिमिटेड होते थे. अब तो बहुत प्रोग्राम्स है और बहुत ज्यादा ग्रेजुएट्स हैं. तो getting into an IBA was like anyone's dream, and it was the most sought after institute in the entire country. And I think so at that time the sense was, once if you manage to get into IBA and also manage to graduate, because getting into IBA was one challenge, and also graduating was not easy at that time either. So already basically जो intake होती थी बहुत limited होती थी, और by the time you graduate तो कुछ dropouts भी हो जाते थे. तो even basically holding the fort was a tough one. So I think so at that time that was the institute to get into, and every other student used to basically give their best to get into IBA. So I think so that's the reason why IBA.
अच्छा, ये बताएं कोई ऐसी हैबिट जो उस जमाने में आपने IBA से पिक की हो और वो अब तक आपके साथ रही हो.
I think so one thing which stayed with me, and I think so my generation prior to that, who happened to have experienced under the tutelage of Dr. Abdul Wahab Sahab, because he is an institute in itself. I think one thing I really learned from those days and still continue to stick to it is discipline. Because at that time, IBA was all about discipline. And I think the kind of discipline we learned during his time was simply amazing. And I remember those were the days जब कराची के हालात बहुत खराब थे. आए दिन basically strikes होती थी, आए दिन पहिया जाम हो जाता था, city बंद हो जाता था, you weren't able to basically move around. And at that time, he never ever shut down IBA. और उस वक्त यूनिवर्सिटीज और स्कूल हफ्ते हफ्ते बंद रहते थे और कभी भी IKV के रिकॉर्ड में नहीं था कि IBA बंद हुआ हो. His view was that listen, if you can't come tomorrow because we are not the hostelite, hostel open है, आप जाके basically hostel में रह लें, आपको वहाँ पे खाना भी मिलेगा, नाश्ता भी मिलेगा, but I'm not going to basically shut down the institute. And I remember those 2 years when I spent at IBA, हालात बहुत खराब थे और जब हालात खराब होते थे हम घर नहीं जाते थे, हम हॉस्टल चले जाते थे. वहीं पे we used to sleep there, we used to study, and we used to basically come the very following day as like any other normal day. So I think so that discipline was simply amazing, and I still basically stick to it.
You mentioned Dr. Wahab. Any other faculty who's left a mark on your way of working and personality?
Well, I think so. Faculty के अंदर ही आएगा, but मेरे ख्याल में he wasn't a teacher, and I think so the person I would like to name who was the campus darling, and I think so continued for a long time, and I think so retired a year, 2 years back, was Ayaz in the admin block.
Yes.
And I think so, what a man, always there to help, always there to lean in, and मुझे जो इत्तेफाक हुआ, मैंने डिग्री अपनी नहीं निकाली थी. तकरीबन मैं 96 में जब ग्रेजुएट किया तो कोई 2014 तक मैंने कभी डिग्री नहीं निकाली, तो मुझे ख्याल आया कि यार डिग्री निकलवानी चाहिए. So The only person I knew was Ayaz. So I reached out to him and he said, listen, you can find me in the morning campus. Well, up to morning or evening ka concept nahi hai, in the city campus. So I went and basically saw him, changed a lot in the last 20 years. The same big smile, yeah. Very contentment, yeah. Very happy with himself. And I asked this question to myself, yeah, as you know, why are we so impatient and why we always wanted to move and what किस मिट्टी का बने हुए हैं ये लोग कि आज भी इतना कंटेंट और आज भी इतना खुश है और आज भी उसी बेसिकली पैशन के साथ he is there to help people. So I think so Ayaz really left a big impact on me, that always stay happy and contentment is something which is very rare to find in today's time.
Okay, so this brings me to one question, which is that sustainability and giving back is in the DNA of Unilever. So आपने भी बात की contentment की और helping others की. Why do you think giving back to society is important?
देखिए मेरे ख्याल में at the end of the day मेरा belief है all of us, any one of us, eventual goal हमारा क्या होता है life के अंदर? Eventual goal हमारा life के अंदर होता है happiness. Yeah. अब कुछ लोग happiness ढूंढ रहे होते हैं through driving a better car. कुछ लोग happiness ढूंढ रहे होते हैं through better paycheck, through a better designation, through being a global citizen, a better house. Some people basically find that happiness through working for charity organizations. So people have different ways to find happiness. And that's what the ultimate goal is. Success brings happiness. I think so, money becomes quickly get very old. It becomes a part of the furniture. And so as designation, so as basically driving better cars and nice offices and good designations. The real contentment and happiness is when your soul is happy. Or most of the time we are feeding our body, not the soul. And I think when you talk about giving back, it's all about feeding your own soul. That gives you the real contentment and happiness. And therefore Unilever and most of the organizations now is all around a larger purpose, which is all around how you can give back to society, because that's the way you can find the true meaning in the job or in the work you do, whatever you do. Because har koi is waqt basically soul searching kar raha hai, what's the reason of my existence, what's the reason of my being. And the reason of being is not to basically make good houses and drive flashy cars and wear branded clothes. I think so it's a lot more deeper and richer than this. Of course it comes with age. When you're young, you are into this, and I think so I must say the millennials a lot more enlightened than my generation. I think so they are realizing a lot more earlier the meaning of a purpose, and so I think so that's what the purpose and giving back to society means. And that's it's more interestingly it's very selfish yet very selfless. Because you give back because you want to feel good, so it's very selfish. But in order to give back to society you have to be selfless. So it's quite a dichotomy.
अच्छा, एक बात बताइए, आपके बारे में मशहूर है एक बात कि आप वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस को खुद भी प्रैक्टिस करते हैं और अपनी टीम में भी बहुत इनकरेज करते हैं. कितना मुश्किल है ये मेंटेन करना, स्पेशली आपकी पोजीशन पे?
मेरे ख्याल में मुश्किल नहीं है मेंटेन करना. I think so it's pretty easy. Listen, I think so if you have a good team in place, and if you have committed team in place, if you are surrounded by passionate people who love their job, or who love what they do, let me not call it a job, who love what they do, then I think so the machine is in motion on its own. And you don't have to really worry to look after whether things are being produced. What you have to worry is kya culture mera intact hai, kya value system mera intact hai, क्या लोगों की रिस्पेक्ट डिग्निटी इंटैक्ट है, क्या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हर कोई फेयरली ट्रीट होता है, देन आई एम नॉट वरीड अबाउट कि यार सेल हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही है, या ब्रांड के एक्विटी स्कोर्स कैसे हैं. At my level, I think so. That's what I need to ensure. Is the overall work environment is conducive, is respectful, is inclusive, is diverse, is rich, and I think so. It's all is in the team. Your people surrounded by. So I think so. If that's happening, then I think so. You can easily strike a work-life balance.
So tell me, when you hire, and you hire from IBA also, I know that we have a huge cluster of IBA alumni working at Unilever. What are the skill sets that you are looking for when you hire somebody? Because this interview will be seen by graduates, by alumni, so it will be very important to get some insight from you.
यार मेरे ख्याल में जो मेन चीज हम लोग जब हायर कर रहे होते हैं, and I think so for any organization, is the value system of the individuals first, because we can build capability of the individuals. Can you hear me, Malahar?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, आप freeze हो गई थी तो I thought.
Sorry.
मेरे ख्याल में तो चीज हम लोग फर्स्ट चीज जो हम लोग ढूंढ रहे होते हैं in our candidates is the value system. कि क्या जो इंडिविजुअल का वैल्यू सिस्टम है is aligned with the organizational value system. Because that's the most critical bit. We can build someone's capability, someone's skill set, someone's competency. Because Unilever is a 100 plus old institute. So there are good processes in place and there are good training programs in place in order to really build their capability set and competency set. But value system वो चीज है जो कि आप अपने साथ लेकर आते हैं, in terms of respect, in terms of integrity, in terms of how you deal with humans. I think so. That's what we basically value the most when we are interviewing anyone and when we basically make a final selection. The second bit is hunger. कि यार इंडिविजुअल के अंदर हंगर कितनी ज्यादा है, because even if you basically your IQ is very high and you've got good grades, but you're not hungry. I think so. That's the second bit we are looking for. We are not looking for experience actually. We value hunger more than experience, because if you're hungry, then we are not worried. Then you'll basically grow as a human, as a professional, as an individual. And these are the few things we are looking for. And I think so once you get into the organization, then you're being looked after in terms of your competency building and your skill building.
And what do you think are the future skills that will be required, 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
इसके ऊपर काफी कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रही है ग्लोबली, और एनी आर्टिकल और एनी मैगजीन यू पिक अप, बी इट्स हार्वर्ड बिजनेस रिव्यू या मैकिंसी या आप फॉर्च्यून उठाएं, तो उसके अंदर आजकल फ्यूचर वेज ऑफ वर्किंग के ऊपर काफी कॉन्वर्सेशन हो रही है. और जो वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम है उसने प्रिडिक्ट किया है कि around 1 billion people need to be reskilled by 2030, which is not too far. तो जो फ्यूचर स्किल के ऊपर काफी बात हो रही है, and I think so as an organization we are working on 3 areas, which is basically reskilling people, upskilling people and new skilling people, which is called a run program. कि किस तरह हमने लोगों को जो पुरानी जनरेशन से उनको रीस्किल करना है ताकि दे स्टिल continue to be a part of the employment. किस लोगों को हमने upskill करना है, people who we think have the potential to learn new techniques, a lot in technology, a lot in basically आपका artificial intelligence हो गया, blockchaining हो गई, आपकी algorithms हो गए, virtual realities हो गई, artificial आपके augmented realities हो गई, coding हो गई. And also basically, new skilling. There are certain skills which are not born today, but will be there, because the world is changing so fast. So I think the world, just the next generation is going to get into is changing extremely fast. And you have to really basically constantly, reskill yourself, upskill yourself and new skill yourself. So I think so. It's going to be a lot more challenging for the students as we get into, because the world is changing so fast.
अच्छा आमिर, ये बताएं, जब इन दिनों आप इंटरेक्ट करते हैं आईबीए के ग्रेजुएट से, सो आप 96 से लेकर आप 2000 2021 में, do you see any difference?
देखिए मेरे ख्याल में आई थिंक इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज फेयर टू कंपेयर the world of then and the world of today, because a lot has changed. The context has changed. It's no more the same world जो 95 के अंदर होती थी, जो आज सन 2000 के अंदर है. जो पॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन बहुत चेंज हो गई है, डायनामिक्स बहुत चेंज हो गए हैं. हमारे वक्त के अंदर जो कुछ चीजें थी वो आज नहीं है. मेरे ख्याल में आजकल का जो स्टूडेंट है या जो आजकल का ग्रेजुएट है, हमसे ज्यादा इनलाइटेंड है, हमसे ज्यादा एक्सपोज्ड है, हमसे ज्यादा मल्टी फैसेटेड है, हमसे ज्यादा एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज के अंदर इन्वॉल्व है, हमसे ज्यादा वेल ट्रैवल्ड है, हमसे ज्यादा एंटरप्राइजिंग है. सो आई थिंक सो हमसे ज्यादा पर्पसफुल है. हम इस एज के अंदर पर्पस और मीनिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, उसने बेसिकली अभी से पर्पस और मीनिंग की बात करनी शुरू कर दी है. So I think he is a lot more enlightened and evolved. I think so. Few things which he is not or she is not, and I think so. That's from our generation. हमारे वक्त के अंदर basically we were geared to move slow and sustainable and steady. We were geared to be a lot more patient, to be a lot more happy, to be a lot more content. आज की generation है, they are in a rush. They want it all and they want it now. They want instant success, which can be very taxing, which can be very challenging. So I think so. If we can take some good stuff from the past, which I've just talked about, which is more, patient, happy, contentment, gratitude, focus, perseverance, and then basically take a lot from this current generation, which is about a lot more purposeful, a lot more enlightened, a lot more well-traveled, a lot more multifaceted. And if you can basically make a blend, I think there's nothing like it.
Acha, what is one, you've spoken a lot about values, so what is the one value that you live by?
Gratitude.
Sure.
मेरे ख्याल में आजकल की दुनिया में ग्रेटिट्यूड की बहुत सख्त कमी है. हम लोग कभी भी खुश नहीं रहते अपने आप से या दूसरों से, और एक चीज मिल जाती है तो दूसरी चीज की बेसिकली जो है ना चाहत उससे ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है, और जब वो मिल जाती है तो कहते हैं कि यार बस यही था. और मेरे ख्याल में हमारे अंदर शुक्र की बहुत कमी हो गई है. सब कुछ पाके भी हम लोग हर वक्त कंप्लेन कर रहे होते हैं, अपने आप से, अपने बॉसेस से, अपने पीयर्स से, अपने पेरेंट्स से, सबसे. So I think so one thing which I would really say, listen, we should be always in a state of gratitude, and I think so we are blessed. I'm blessed, whatever I'm being basically given. So I think so one thing I would advise everyone, always keep thanking God for what you basically get, because if you look around, the people are in trouble, the world is in trouble.
Acha, you have a very successful career, mashallah. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि अपनी सक्सेस को किन चीजों को एट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, तो क्या क्या कहेंगे?
मैंने दो तीन चीजों के अभी पहले भी जिक्र किया, आई कैन बेसिकली एट द रिस्क ऑफ रिपीटिंग आई वुड से इट अगेन. क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल में फर्स्ट चीज जो बहुत चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है, व्हिच आई हैव रियलाइज्ड, इज फोकस. You have to be absolutely stay focused, what you want in life. Many people get distracted. if they don't get it on time, वो distract हो जाते हैं और किसी और चीज के पीछे लग जाते हैं. So you need absolute clarity. That's number one. Number two, self-awareness and deep self-awareness. यार आप हैं कौन, आप चाहते क्या है अपने आप से, आपकी ट्रेड्स क्या है, आपकी वीकनेस क्या है, आपकी स्ट्रेंथ्स क्या है. And deep self-awareness will come through 24/7 introspection and reflection. So you should be constantly reflecting and introspecting what you achieved and what you have not been able to achieve, why. So self-awareness is one critical stuff which will basically make you realize your dreams. Third thing is perseverance. Perseverance is again very important. आप लगे रहें, committed रहें, because there are going to be multiple obstacles, road bumps, hurdles that are going to be coming your way. And you should basically find a detour. You should not turn back. Detour देखें. I think so. If you stay, if you are really committed to your goal. I've talked about patience, जो कि again very important. And what is patience? Patience is something that thing may not basically happen as per your desire, but you must not get annoyed and you must not get frustrated if they get delayed. And that's what patience is, because many a time we get frustrated and we get annoyed and we get angry. So we should stay basically calm and collected if it doesn't happen on time और हम लगे रहें उसके साथ. The third thing, I've talked about gratitude already. Keep thanking what you have, because that will basically keep you moving. And what is also very important is listen to your heart, and get your head aligned to the heart, because there's always the struggle happening between the head and the heart. And I think so, listen to the heart, because heart gives you the satisfaction, contentment, and happiness, not the brain, not the head. And then make your head basically, follow the heart. So इनकी basically syncing बहुत ज़रूरी है. अगर इनकी आपस में confrontation चल रही है within you, I think so, then you stay distracted. And the one which is at the end of the way, is most important is trust in the God's will. जो हम आम फहम के अंदर luck कहते हैं, ठीक है. There's a plan which God has laid out for you. And, have a faith in God. He'll look after you. Many things don't happen on time. There's a reason. It will happen. So have trust in God, and keep talking to God, because many a time we need Him. Because many a time my colleagues, my parents, my friends, my confidants may not be able to give me the right answer. So I think so, God's will के अंदर बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आपका faith हो. So there are a few things which I think I've learned in the last 2.5 decades of my career.
कोई जिंदगी में regret है?
Absolutely none.
That's amazing. You know that. बहुत कम लोग इतनी श्योरिटी के साथ ये बात कह सकते हैं.
Absolutely none.
अच्छा.
I am just humbled, and I am where I am. I never thought I will be here, and I think so. I don't deserve it, to be honest. I think so. Just lucky.
अच्छा, बताएं, अपने क्लासमेट्स के साथ अभी भी राब्ते में हैं?
बिल्कुल हैं जी.
अच्छा.
Still, yeah.
And how does that happen? WhatsApp है या मिलते हैं या
तो अब तो practically अभी मेरे ख्याल में हम जब ग्रेजुएट किए थे 30 या 35 लोग थे हम लोग. So काफी लोग तो basically आपको पता है with time बिखर गए हैं दुनिया में. तो पाकिस्तान में बहुत कम बचे हैं, मेरे ख्याल में 7, 8, 10 लोग होंगे. बाकी people have either migrated or they moved jobs and they are doing jobs in different parts of the world. जो जब अब तो खैर प्री कोविड टाइम्स के अंदर हम काफी रिलीजियसली मिलते थे, बिकॉज फ्रेंड्स जो है वो यूजुअली ईद टाइम के ऊपर या दिसंबर के अंदर, आपको पता है लोग ट्रैवल करते हैं पाकिस्तानी डायस्पोरा आता है, तो उस वक्त मुलाकात जरूर होती थी. अब प्रैक्टिकली कोई ट्रैवल नहीं है पिछले 1.5 साल से, तो मुलाकात कम है. बट आई थिंक सो व्हाट्सएप जो है वो दैट कीप्स यू कनेक्टेड, that keeps you hooked on. And one of our classmates, we lost her at a very young age, Bushra Farooqi, unfortunately. She was on an expedition in Oman, and very tragic death. So we as classmates, we were working towards a Bushra Farooqi endowment fund for IBA. So, you know, we stay connected, so we keep connected and we keep talking. Kafi active group hai, by the way, hamara. I think every day, मेरे ख्याल में on and off 100 plus conversations तो हो रही होती है, you know, on different subjects, you know, geopolitical, some fun, some old days. So I think so, yeah, we are pretty much connected with each other.
और कोई एक मेमोरी आपकी जो जो आप शेयर करना चाहो आईबीए के जमाने की?
काफी सारी मेमोरीज हैं, बट एक मेमोरी मुझे याद है क्योंकि हालात सही नहीं थे और वहाब साहब का जमाना था, और वो स्ट्राइक कॉल हुई थी कि कोई भी जो है इंस्टीट्यूट नहीं खोलेगा, बिकॉज डॉक्टर वहाब इज डॉक्टर वहाब. ही सेड, यू नो, कम रेन और शाइन, आई विल ओपन. और उन्होंने इंस्टीट्यूट खोल दिया था और हमारे एग्जाम्स थे. वो साथ वाली यूनिवर्सिटी से बेसिकली, यू नो, there's some rowdy crowd, you know, they jumped in and they vandalized the place. They broke the glass and the windows, and they basically came in and they started tearing the papers, created a lot of terror. And at that time, Wahab Saab was in his room, and he walked in and he stood in front of those rowdy guys, and they said, "Oh, my dead body, if you really want to basically get this institute closed." So that stick to me, and I think so brave of him, you know, brave of him that, you know, he said, "Listen, I'll stay, you know, very true to my value system, that I'm not going to shut down even for a single day." And because he was a very disciplinary, at times, you know, to a frightening level, discipline was. But yes, that memory sticks to me.
Sure. And how would you describe IBA in one word or one sentence?
I think so. It's one of the institute. It's a very inclusive institute, because her class, her background, her ethnic group, her socio-economic class का student कम से कम मेरे ज़माने में आता था IBA. You know, it was not a certain class of people that used to get into IBA. You know, you do not need to belong to a certain club. You know. An exclusive club. The only club you should be belonging to is merit. Yeah. अगर आपके competent हैं और merit के उस म्यार पे उतरते हैं, तो IBA will basically, you know, will accept you. An institute which is stand for discipline. And I think so that's how IBA built itself in the first 5 decades. I don't know what's been now in the last 2 decades now, you know. But that's what
so you'll be happy to know अभी भी हमारा claim to fame merit ही है. हमारा need blind admission है, और उसके बाद if the student needs financial assistance, तो फिर हम उसके लिए financial aid provide करते हैं. लेकिन claim to fame merit है. अभी भी phones आते हैं, अभी भी pressure आता है, but you know, that is our, you know, our legacy, that is our pride, कि एडमिशन जो है वो मेरिट के ऊपर ही होगा. सो ये तो है, अभी भी इट्स द सेम. सो दिस ब्रिंग्स अस ऑलमोस्ट टू द क्लोज ऑफ आवर टॉक. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टेकिंग टाइम आउट. और आज का मेरे लिए टेक अवे है, आपने एक बहुत बड़ी खूबसूरत बात की कि मनी बिकम्स पार्ट ऑफ अ फर्नीचर एट सम पॉइंट इन टाइम. सो let me just say that अगर आप यूनिलीवर के CEO ना होते तो एक बहुत अच्छे इंटेलेक्चुअल और फिलोसफर होते. So maybe yeah, so आपसे बात करके ये लगा कि एक ऐसा इंसान जो मुतमईन है, खुश है और लोगों के लिए आसानियां पैदा कर रहा है. So it has been a privilege talking to you.
Thank you, Malahat, and thank you for giving me an opportunity. And it was nice talking to you.
Thank you. Take care. Khuda Hafiz. Bye-bye.